the president and his cost-cutting proposals yesterday, there was a hearing that got little to no press on Capitol Hill. It focused on the Muslim Brotherhood. The chair of the House Intelligence Subcommittee on Terrorism, Sue Myrick, raised a red flag that the U.S. doesn't have a strategy to deal with the shadowy group that's trying to assume power in Egypt.
The federal government does not have a comprehensive or consistent strategy for dealing with the Muslim Brotherhood and its affiliated groups in America. Nor does it have a strategy for dealing with the Brotherhood in Egypt or the Greater Middle East. We need to examine closely whether its true goal of setting up a worldwide Islamic regime is still in place.
Here now with their thoughts are Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, and Robert Spencer, director of Jihad Watch and author of Stealth Jihad: How Radical Islam is Subverting America Without Guns or Bombs. Dr. Jasser, let's start with you because you were one of the key witnesses in Representative Peter King's Homeland Security hearings a month or so ago. Tell us what you thought about the hearings today on the Hill.
Yeah, I can't tell you how important they are and how much of a service Congresswoman Myrick and the witnesses were doing in bringing to light a subject. When I talked about radicalization, I talked about a continuum, the fact that it's not just the violence at the end, but there's an ideology that separates some Muslim youth, not all, a minority, but a radical minority from the society, which is related to a slippery slope of political Islam. And we've been playing defense against the ideology that's not only domestic, but global. And the Brotherhood has been the primary cancer cell. And she really brought to light some very academic, poignant testimony about the fact that we've had no strategy. We've been fighting a cold war of ideas, not only just playing defense, but with no strategy at all. And if we're going to penetrate the ideas of political Islam all around the world, we need to enable liberal, secular Muslims to start to fight this on the ground, to begin ideas of reform, the separation of mosque and state, and to fight this offensively, which we have had no strategy of doing.
No strategy. Mr. Spencer, one of the things that concerned us most about Egypt when Mubarak stepped down was this, in fact, problem of the Muslim Brotherhood making their way in. Do we know if the Muslim Brotherhood is making inroads into Egypt now?
It's happening more quickly than anybody could have anticipated, Eric. You know, not long ago I was on your show, Follow the Money, and I said the Muslim Brotherhood is poised to take power in Egypt, and Juan Williams said I was fear-mongering. And now I just want to say to Juan Williams and to everybody else, I told you so. I tried to tell you the Muslim Brotherhood won 77% in a referendum just weeks ago in Egypt to change the constitution that will, in ways that will pave the way for its taking power. It is clear that it is the largest group in Egypt in opposition and the one that is poised to take power there. And so they're going to establish an Islamic State. And we also have to remember the Representative Myrick is right. The Brotherhood is in the United States also.
We'll get there, sir. We'll get there, Mr. Spencer. We'll get to
so on.
We'll get to the U.S. Dr. Jasser, less than 30 seconds or so. Tell us, is this a different Muslim Brotherhood than the one we know from past, I guess, terrorist ties?
Yeah, their core ideology, they may eschew violence, but their core ideology of Islamic supremacism, establishing an Islamic State through Sharia law, is still in place. They've never condemned that, and they haven't stepped away from it. But I hope people understand that we need to get out of the morass that created these groups, which was the dictatorships in the Middle East, and we may step backwards first, but the progress in the Middle East may seem messy, but it's the only way out of this, Robert and Eric, and I hope people see that this is the only way out, is to get rid of these thugs and get us on the ground to help mobilize them towards some type of secular democracy.
All right, we're going to continue this discussion. We're going to take it to how it's affecting us right here in the United States after the break. More with Dr. Zuhdi Jasser and Robert Spencer in a couple of minutes.